We're talking with David Lieberman about his book, Transcendental Judaism, Enlivening the Eternal Within to Uplift Ourselves and Our World. David, we were talking about Adam and Eve's awareness, moving from wholeness to the parts.
Yes, there's something we can do about that. Our goal, of course, is to be able to see both, sort of at the same time. We need to be able to go about our daily lives and understand the differences and the duality that is in front of us. And we would love to have a sense of God's omnipresence, creative intelligence, the wholeness, the interconnectedness of everything while we were doing so. And this idea is supported in our texts. In Psalm 51, King David prays, "Do not cast me out of your presence or take your Holy Spirit away from me." And Rabbi Aryeh Kaplan, a 20th century academic and Kabbalist and meditation teacher, teaches that continuously possessing that Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh, is an indicator of enlightenment in a person. And in the 18th and 19th centuries, there was a famous Talmudist and Kabbalist, Rabbi Aaron of Staroshele, and he explained that this experience was one of seeing from both God's point of view, the wholeness, and our point of view, the parts. This ability to hold on to both is actually the fulfillment of one of our elusive mitzvot, the mitzvah of cleaving to God, or devakut. So, as I was saying before, some of the mitzvot from biblical times maybe faded into the background and others in rabbinic times came to the forefront. I see the mitzvah of cleaving to God being one that we will be able to potentially accomplish during Transcendental Judaism.
Cleaving to God. How do we accomplish that?
Well, as we've said traditionally, it's the performance of the mitzvot that does so. But in addition to that, around the 16th century in Safed, the Kabbalists used various meditation techniques to enliven their connection with God and reach higher states of consciousness. And I'm going to briefly just name 2 or 3 of them just to give you a sense. Their names tell you what they're trying to do. One of these techniques is called Yehudim, which means unification. So they would perform activities that would unify their minds with God. Another one was called Bitul, which means nullification. So they would nullify their own egos and try to get their thoughts out of their minds so as to cleave to the no-thingness of God. And finally, the last one I'm going to talk about, Hitbodedut, which means isolation, which is where you try to isolate, again, all your thoughts and your emotions so that you can permit your soul to touch God. So, unfortunately, many of these techniques are currently lost. They may not be well understood. It's said that they can be dangerous if they're not practiced correctly. So, there are some other secular approaches that I talk about in the book. But I hope and expect that some of the keys to this treasure chest will be uncovered sometime in the future.